The trope of giving characters a sad and tragic backstory to make them more interesting has become incredibly popular in storytelling. It has reached a point to where characters without such backgrounds are sometimes considered boring or poorly written and sometimes even unrealistic. However, as a fan of compelling tragic backstories and a believer that tragic backstories can add depth to our perception of a character and the experiences that shaped them, at the same time, I also think that characters with happy backstories should not be dismissed as bad writing or uninteresting, since there are many people with happy lives in our world, not just tragic ones. It is also important to switch things up occasionally and explore characters with good parents and joyful pasts. Amidst all the sadness that often unfolds in stories, these characters deserve more appreciation as they make sure the story doesn't get too gloomy and depressing. So today, I would like to discuss some characters in Genshin who have happy backstories and/or supportive parents. Although they may not represent the majority, I believe they are well crafted and deserve recognition, especially in a narrative filled with unfortunate events. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, that would really help me out. Let's start with Nilou. Nilou grew up in a supportive household, with both her parents encouraging her to pursue her passion without any expectation of conforming to the traditional path of joining the academia, which is quite uncommon in Sumeru, with it being a region that doesn't appreciate the arts and all. She's a very compassionate and empathetic person, and her dance performances provide comfort to people from all walks of life. Her upbringing has made her a generally happy and well-grounded person, driven to bring joy to others, much like the happiness she received from her parents. She stands up for what she believes in, which is shown with her participation in the Archon quest, risking her life and freedom to save Sumeru, and even her story quest delves deeper into her kind-hearted personality. Characters like Nilou are important in a story that has mostly sad stories. People aren't good because they had a sad backstory, they're good because they choose to be good. She stands up for what she believes in and wants to protect those she cares about. Her character is so much more complex than just being a dancer, and I think people who think she's boring just don't know much about her or what she represents. I have an entire video on her motifs and design and where her design is derived from if you'd like to know more about Nilou. Next up, yoimiya. Yoimiya's family are well known for their fireworks, and she herself embodies the spirit of a firework both design-wise and personality-wise. She is vibrant, beautiful, and capable of bringing smiles to everyone around her. She also has a very intoxicating smile, which is impossible to resist. You just can't help smiling back when you see her. During the vision hunt decree, she selflessly helped people avoid having their vision from them, helping them escape while also risking her own vision's safety. She is a very selfless character who just wants to bring people joy. Fireworks. Family's fireworks are also integral to the festivals in Inazuma, and she's always working towards making them better to make more and more people happy. She isn't just a boring happy-go-lucky character, her character stands out amidst the chaos and sadness that permeates to Inazuma, providing a much-needed breath of fresh air after all the angst. Yoimiya's joyful disposition doesn't make her boring, rather it adds a distinctive, uplifting element to an otherwise very dark story, especially in Inazuma with all the sad, long world quests. Yoimiya's first and second story quests do a good job at showing who she is as a person. Though Yoimiya seems like a very random character to give a second story quest to, it was also very well done, and it shows Yoimiya's character quite well and how her demeanor helps others feel better. Xiangling. Xiangling is a young chef that lives in Liyue and works in a Wanming restaurant with her father. She has been cooking with her father ever since she was a kid and is well known in Liyue Harbor for her enthusiasm when it comes to cooking. Xiangling loves finding new recipes, working with strange ingredients, and sharing with others to try, often subjecting her friends Changyun and Xingqiu to her culinary creations, or otherwise culinary torture, depending on what she decides to cook up. Her personality is also very reminiscent of a child whose imagination has never been stifled. Instead, it has been nurtured and allowed to flourish. She is given a space to shine and grow, and you can see it in her actions. Her father encourages her to cook how she wants and not be constrained by how things are supposed to be done. Xiangling's ever-growing flame of passion and individuality endears her to others, making her a lovable and comforting character. Klee. Klee is our favorite little troublemaker from the Knights of Avonius, also known as the Spark Knight due to her fiery disposition. Unlike the other characters on this list, Klee does not have a present parent figure. Her mother, Alice, although she does spend some time with Klee, as we've been told by her in-game, is often preoccupied with her own adventures doing who knows what to who knows who. Klee was left with the Knights and is currently being raised by the Knights, specifically Jean, Kaya, and her brother Albedo. Though in the light of the current event, Kaya is also like a brother to her. According to the game, Alice has only been absent for about 3 years, so she was very much present in Klee's early life, with Klee even remembering many fond memories with her mother. She taught her many things, mostly how to make bombs, but all in all, she's a good mother to Klee. Klee, just like Xiangling, also gives off unadulterated joy and the creativity of a child whose imagination has not been curbed or subdued. Despite her many visits to the solitary confinement room and multiple lectures from Jean for blowing things up, Klee is still allowed to be a child. She is given a space to be herself, knowing that everyone around her cares and loves her. She wants to see people happy, and arguments tend to upset her as they are likely rare occurrences in her life. So when she does encounter people arguing, it makes her sad, which is shown in the 3.8 summer event. She doesn't understand why people would willingly put themselves in such a sad position. Like, why would you argue with someone when you can just talk to them calmly and try to figure out what happens? In that sense, she has a very mature personality, but she's still a very childish character. Klee's bubbly personality is enough to bring joy to anyone she encounters. She lives a happy life and wishes the same for others. Yaoyao. Yaoyao is a little girl that lived on a mountain outside of Liyue Harbor with her parents, until the Adepti, Madame Ping, took a liking to her and took her under her wing. She quickly became a well-taught little girl in the arts of the Adepti. She is well known for caring greatly for her elders, despite being half their size. She goes around helping people and mostly stays with Madame Ping, even treating and regarding her as her grandmother and mentor. Her parents were a little bit against her being trained by the Adepti, but they were convinced and have since seen that it was a good choice. Even though she is mostly with Madame Ping, she still goes back home to see her parents and is always welcomed back with love. Though she is currently not the most fleshed out character in this list, as she has just been released, not just been released, but she is more recent than everyone else in this list, she is still a good character and her happy backstory doesn't make her any less interesting. In conclusion, I believe Genshin could benefit from having more characters with happy backstories and good parents. When executed well, these characters can be incredibly enjoyable. They can help balance the narrative and give more depth to the story instead of it being one-dimensional and gloomy all the time. Happy experiences and characters can also invoke emotional reactions with the player, giving us a feeling of warmth and relaxation, helping us connect and find comfort with the character even more. And in reality, not everyone has a sad backstory, so there should be more representation for the diversity of human experiences. And also, who doesn't love a good happy story to motivate you to keep going in life? Additionally, not every character with a pleasant backstory has to be inherently good or the epitome of a sunshine personality. There's a multitude of personalities that can be attributed to characters with happy backstories beyond being happy-go-lucky. You can have a character that is grumpy and gloomy but had a good upbringing, and it would be refreshing to witness more variety in personalities and backstories. Also, I just realized most of these are pyro characters, which is quite fitting with their vibrant personality. Though not all the pyro characters are that way, I still think it fits them. This list only mentions 5 characters, and I may have missed others. If there are more that I overlooked, let me know in the comments and feel free to share more about them. That is all for today. Subscribe and see you whenever.